Christopher in Jersey. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Chris, welcome. How are you today, buddy? What do you have for me?
I'm well. How are you, dog?
All right, Chris. Nice to talk to you. Let me hear now.
Growing up as a track athlete, all I ever wanted to do was go to the Olympics. So it's near and dear to my heart. No Super Bowl, no World Series. And I think one way that the Olympics could gain some more ratings is to put in the traditional winter sports, take them away from the summer sports and put them in the winter games like gymnastics, like wrestling, maybe even indoor volleyball. You could put basketball in the Winter Olympics. I think it would be a great draw.
I'm not sure if they want to make the Winter Olympics be about cold weather and ice and snow, and obviously volleyball and basketball are indoor events. Skating it's a cold event. There isn't one of those indoor events in the Olympics as it is as we speak. Everything is luge, skeleton, hockey, ice skating. It's skiing.
No one's watching, and all those from middle school to high school to college. All those events are winter events, and putting them in the summer program, there's a lot to go around with track and field and all that other stuff. You might get a bigger draw watching some of those big draw summer events in the winter.
Well, I mean, I think there's some. I think it's not a terrible idea. I don't know if they will do that. Basketball, you're not going to get the NBA player to play in the winter, so that's why they do it in the summertime. I mean. The basketball can't do it that way based on, who will be available. That Olympics in the summer, the players, they're not in the NBA season, so they can, or in the European League season, they can play. The volleyball, you're right. Most of the time, volleyball is sort of I'm not sure I think it depends on where you are. I don't know what season volleyball falls into, whether it is a winter or a spring sport or a fall sport. I don't know that. What is it normally? Women, it's fall. This is a high school volleyball. Women, it's fall, and the men are in the spring?
College, it's women fall, men spring.
All right, so it goes in both. College, men, spring, women in different parts of the calendar. So I guess you can finagle and put the volleyball there, but they don't want to put any event in the Winter Olympics that's got a summer feel to it. Make a long story short. And that has a summer feel to it. Volleyball, beachside volleyball has got a summer feel to it. I don't think they want to do that, but it's not a terrible idea on your point. Here's Michael in Orange County, California. Mike, welcome. How are you today? What do you have for me?
Chris, how you doing? Got a couple things.
Yes, Mike. Let me hear. Shoot.
First, NBC. Where the heck is Costas, Dan Patrick, and Al Michael?
Well, I'll tell you where. That's easy. Dan Patrick didn't want to go. I don't think Dan Patrick. First off, they did the Super Bowl, a lot of them. Costas bowed out. He didn't want to do it. Undesirable location. That was Bob, who's done it forever. Bob passed. Bob passed. So that is not a Super Bowl pregame show. Bob did not want to do it. He would prefer to take a little blow from it, so that's where Bob is. I don't think Michael's had any desire at 73 years of age to travel to Korea to spend 2.5 weeks in freezing temperatures to be a daytime host on MSNBC. So that eliminates him, and I'm not sure what Dan Patrick's deal is. Mostly he's got the football and the basketball and what have you. I don't know they could find something for him to do, but I don't think Patrick wanted to go either. So that really has to do with the Michaels and Costas could have gone. They don't want to go, and they probably decided to let Patrick do his thing with the Super Bowl. Go ahead.
Could be. Hey, also, on the events, actually the men's hockey game, I don't know if you saw that. It was literally empty. Lower bowl as well. I mean, it was so embarrassing. The U.S. men's hockey team, when they played, Korea couldn't care less about the hockey. But my question is, why do they have it? What's it called? Pyeongchang. Why do they have it there and not in Seoul? Because if you notice, Beijing had summer, Beijing gets winters. A lot of these cities have had summer and winter.
Because it might be as simple as mountains. Remember, Pyeongchang and the mountains, it's only 20 miles apart. Seoul's 3 hours away. I don't know if Seoul doesn't probably have any mountains. All the skiing has got to be where the big mountains are. That's probably the reason. It's hard to have them 3 hours apart, 3.5 hours apart. So that is probably the answer to that. Brett in Texas, and he's with us here on Mad Dog Unleashed. Brett, good afternoon. How are you today?
Mad Dog, I almost ran off the road when you said you haven't read the article on Cuba.
Well, it's not from Cuban. It's about the Dallas CEO. It's not about Cuban per se. Cuban didn't know what was going on, but it's not a bio on Mark Cuban, and he didn't do it. It's about
the Mavericks. But you would crucify Tory if he was talking about something and didn't read an article.
I haven't really talked about it. All I have talked about is the fact that Cuban can't talk about the president anymore if he can't sit there and keep his own house in order. I have not spent a lot of time talking. This only happened yesterday, and I have not spent very little time discussing this, only because we've seen this now. This is an epidemic. We have seen this for a good 6 to 8 months. We saw it with the Carolina franchise in the NFL. Obviously, in Hollywood, we have seen this in media. Lauer, Charlie Rose. We have seen this all over the place for a long period of time. So it's not like I'm not interested, but how much am I? I read everything else. I'm burned out by it. Not that I'm not interested. These people have to be stopped. But this article is not about how the Dallas Mavericks run an organization on the court, and it's not about Cuban. It's about women being harassed by this jerk. That's what this is about. And we've read a lot about that in the last 6 months, so that's the reason why I passed. But I will make sure to make you happy that I will have it all read, word for word, tomorrow. And I guarantee you, Tori hasn't read it either. But I guarantee I'll have it all read tomorrow. Every word, we go from there. 10 in front of the hour here on Mad Dog Unleashed.